A warm welcome back to my channel. My name is Donato, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about the boring things that I do that enable me to be successful, not just as a runner but also enjoying life and making the most of what we have. So without further ado, let's go. Yes, you heard correctly, boring. Yes, I am boring Donato. But you know what? I've been reading a book over the past couple of weeks, months, all about atomic habits. I highly recommend this book. It's all about doing the little things that make a big difference. Yes, the micro habits, whatever you want to call it. And would you believe the other day a video popped up with the title of doing boring things? I've left a link in the description about doing these boring things, and I'm going to highlight some of them because without me realizing it, I've been doing a lot of boring things over the past decade, which has enabled me to not only complete 22 marathons and all sorts of 5Ks, 10Ks, astonishing times, but to remain competitive. Now, I do enjoy competing, taking part in events, but I like to hustle and get to the top, get on the podiums. Yeah, although it's not always just about winning, it's about enjoying the process, and that's what I'm going to talk about, because it's those little things, the little process that help us not just with our running but life in general as a whole. Yeah, it's all the good stuff. I call it good stuff, some people call it boring. I think it's all about doing the boring things, ensures that we have the longevity and things that we need to do, because there's a lot of I get to see some trending videos, and the common denominator of why it's trending is it's basically talking bonkers stuff. Yeah, gets you some short-term results, but long-term, no, it totally breaks you. And in that video that's got the link, it talks about this as well, where some things, you know, it's great for a short-term result, but long-term it doesn't. A bit like some of the longevity BS that's out there, you know, people claiming they're going to live forever and do this and do that. It's just nonsense, really, because to live long, like my mum and dad did, my mum into her 80s, my dad 96, they just done the same consistent stuff that you'll see in that video. Yeah, real good stuff. So let's crack on. Have you heard about the Norwegian method? Have you heard about Kenyan hills and all that type of stuff? Yeah, it all sounds good, but none of it is really new, and a lot of it is just nuances. And I did see this other video from a very good professional PT calling out some of these so-called trainings that help with the VO2 max are not as efficient as they claim to be. So it's got a good buzzword and stuff, but does it really work? Now, for me, I'm just going to talk about two key habits, which not just for running but for life in general, that help us be the best that we can be, because there's two key things that help in terms of our daily habits, simple little things, and it is the simple things that make the big difference. Trust me, yeah, I've been living it for years. So the two things is how we start the day, how we finish the day. Yeah, it's not that rocket science. The start in the day, the first thing is we've slept for so long, we're dehydrated and all that kind of stuff. Just having a glass of water when we get up, hydrating our body, because our bodies is around 60% fluids. We need the fluid. Yeah, hydrate with just water, nice and simple. Yeah, not a coffee or a tea or anything like that. In fact, if you have a caffeinated drink, it can have other hindrances, so avoiding the coffee first thing in the morning is good. Glass of water. And then the other habit, last thing at night, is going to bed at the same time, just having a habit of the same time. And the same applies at weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. So whatever time you agree on, whatever works for you, stick with that time, and our circadian cycle, our body cycle, follows that same pattern. Just two key things, really simple. Are you doing two simple things? Or are you taking some white powders, potions, pills to help enhance your training runs and all that? Because to be honest, if you're doing those two simple things, they're much more effective than the powders, potions and all that, and also cost you nothing. Yeah, that's right. Well, I'm sure tap water coming out is free, isn't it? So let me know in the comments below, what simple basic things are you doing? Yeah, the boring things that we do that help with our daily life. Yes, have a look at, as I say, have a look through that video, I'll put a link in the description where it talks a lot more detail on some of the other habits that is almost essential. Boring stuff. Yeah, I know, and it may not get the most likes, the views and all that type of stuff, but do you know what, for us who just quietly go about our stuff every day, we consistently get the better results, not just in terms of random numbers that are quicker than others, because we don't want to compare with others. It's how we feel and how and do what we do. Yeah, if we feel good about ourselves, that in itself helps, doesn't it? Yeah, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below, and remember, thumbs up, subscribe, hit that alarm bell. Let's spread the good word of the simple boring stuff that we need to do each day to help us keep going. Yeah, see you all very soon. Now, a little addendum for my regular viewers. Have you seen that where I've been walking along compared to last week's video? I don't know if you watched that, about how to run slow. Yes, that I've been able to walk along this path now because the flood waters has receded and I can come along the path, and it's oh so good. But thank you to everybody who left a comment on the how to run slow. A lot of you commented of how it's helped them and basically unlock that little one thing that can help us to do that. And again, I do appreciate that I was oversimplifying it. It is simple. When I talked about the cadence 180, yes, there's variances, and yes, the stride length, the actual length, the absolute length, not whether it's shorter or longer, can be different based on our height, weight and all those other factors. So when you take that into account, for example, my cadence, if I'm 5'10", is going to be different to someone who's 6'8", yeah. And the stride length is going to be very different as well. So yes, there's always going to be some nuances, but in simple terms, it is just the stride length. Especially when we're talking about a video like this, by doing the boring stuff, it's often the simple things that work. See you all soon.